What does heaven weigh? In the 16th century, one man was obsessed with this question. Not a philosopher, an architect. His answer wasn't written in words, but in stone, light, and empty space. He challenged the very laws of physics to make mountains of marble float. He wasn't just building mosques. He was conducting a 50-year-long experiment to find the perfect space between earth and sky. This is the story of Mimar Sinan, the Ottoman da Vinci, who didn't just design buildings, he engineered emotion. Sinan's story begins not at a drafting table, but on the march. Born a Christian in Anatolia around 1490, he was recruited into the elite Ottoman Janissary Corps. Here, he didn't learn theory, he learned applied survival. As a military engineer, he built bridges that had to hold armies, fortresses that had to stop cannonballs, and aqueducts that couldn't fail. This was his university, the unforgiving school of load, stress, and scale. He learned that beauty without strength is a death trap. When Sultan Süleymaniye the Magnificent noticed his genius, Sinan was given the ultimate promotion, Chief Imperial Architect. His first task? To outshine the Byzantine masterpiece next door, the Hagia Sophia. Hagia Sophia was the ghost in the room, a 1,000-year-old challenge. Its dome was a marvel, but it was dark, held up by massive walls and hidden buttresses. Sinan saw it as a problem to solve. How could he create a dome that was wider, taller, but filled with light? How could he make the support system invisible, so worshippers felt they were standing directly under the heavens? His solution was a revolution in structure, the octagonal baldachin. Imagine a central dome not resting on 4 thick walls, but on 8 pillars connected by a web of elegant arches. This created a stable, geometric skeleton. Then, he filled the corners with exegery, half-domes and smaller domes that cascaded outward, distributing weight like a fractal. The walls between the pillars, they could now be nothing but windows. He was replacing solid mass with geometric intelligence. At age 80, after 300 projects, he built his final answer, Selimiye. He called it his masterpiece. Here, his 50-year experiment reached its zenith. A single, overwhelming dome, over 31 meters wide, sits on a perfectly symmetrical octagon. 8 slender pillars are almost invisible. The effect is a suspension of disbelief. The dome doesn't feel supported. It feels released. It hovers. The thousands of windows at its base make the dome itself seem to detach and float, like the sky captured in a stone halo. He had not just matched Hagia Sophia. He had redefined the relationship between structure and soul. But Sinan's genius wasn't just in the big gesture. It was in the invisible systems. He was the ultimate civic engineer. His mosques were the hearts of self-sustaining ecosystems, cullies. As hydraulic engineer, he built aqueducts, water supply tunnels, and fountains for ritual ablution and drinking. As acoustic engineer, he embedded hundreds of hollow terracotta pots into the walls and domes to perfect resonance and dampen echo, a giant stone speaker system. As social engineer, around each mosque, he built schools, hospitals, public kitchens, and markets. A Sinan structure wasn't just for prayer, it was for life. He engineered community. In the end, Sinan's defiance of gravity had a profoundly human goal. He used scale, light, and space to manufacture an emotion, awe. He calculated the precise psychological moment when vastness becomes intimate, when stone feels light, when architecture stops being a building and becomes an experience. He showed that the greatest engineering feat is not to dominate the landscape, but to lift the human spirit. His legacy is the pursuit of doing more with less, replacing brute mass with elegant form. Today, every architect who designs a vast, column-free space, from concert halls to space stations, walks a path Sinan paved. He proved that true innovation is structural poetry. So the next time you walk into a vast, awe-inspiring space, look up. Think of the 16th century master who saw stone not as a limit, but as a challenge. Who spent a lifetime asking one question: how light can we make the world? Mimar Sinan, the architect who taught stone to fly. Which other hidden architects of history do you want us to uncover? The Maya builders? The unknown engineers of the Silk Road? Let us know in the comments. And if you believe the best stories are the ones holding up the world around us, hit like and bell icon and subscribe to our channel Zunfold, where we unfold the untold.